Magic fans. What an interesting night. Welcome to the 6 Minute Show Postgame Live presented by Thrivent. Magic win 105-98 against the 1-10, now 1-11 Brooklyn Nets. Interesting game. Very conflicted. Very glad to have the win. You're 2-0 in the NBA Cup. You've won 6 out of your last 8 games. All of that's well and good. But this game was miserable for at least half the game, maybe even 3/4 of the game. But hey, somehow, some way, the Magic found a way to win. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most. And sometimes good teams find ways to win bad games. And so I'm going to choose to lean into giving the Magic credit for winning a game that they probably shouldn't have won. So I give them a lot of credit. But I also give credit to you for joining the show tonight. Welcome. This is the 6 Minute Show Postgame Live. It's presented by Thrivent. My name is Kevin. Glad you're with us tonight. This is our live postgame show here on YouTube and simulcast on X after every single Orlando Magic game. Glad you're with us. This show is all about you. So get involved in the chat, especially the super chats. That's the best way to get involved. We read every single super chat, and we read through several of your messages in the regular chat. And so let us know how you're feeling about this game. Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Are you somewhere in between? Because I understand all of the emotions tonight. Another guy that understands all the emotions tonight is Marc.Abraham. He and Thrivent are the presenting sponsors of this show. Marc.Abraham is a financial advisor, but also a diehard Orlando Magic fan and season ticket holder. In fact, he was texting me earlier tonight. He was at the game. He was seeing guys walking around in the new city jerseys, which we talked about in the latest episode of the 6 Man Show yesterday. Said they look pretty good. But yeah, if you want to reach out to somebody and you're looking for some financial advice, some assistance, some wise counsel, Marc.Abraham is the way to go. You can call him at 407-366-4364. You can reach him via email or via his website, which are both in the description below. Marc just wants to help fellow Orlando Magic fans be wise with their money. And so maybe you're struggling financially, or maybe you're super well off financially and you're just trying to figure out how to best move forward. Marc is the guy for you. Give him a call, shoot him an email. You won't be sorry. Big shout out to Marc for sponsoring the show. All right, folks, how are we feeling? I am so conflicted because this is a game on paper you should have won by a lot. I think you were a 14.5 point favorite, even without Paolo. But you win by 7, and you needed, I believe, it was either 11-0 or 13-0 run to close the game to get a 7-point win. And you needed a banked 3-pointer by Franz Wagner to help you get there. Not great. Not great at all. But again, a win is a win. It's an NBA Cup win as well. And so that's not nothing. Let's go to the Super Chats to start us off, as we always do. First up is Luis Rosario, who says, back-to-back-to-back wins. Play the song. This is a 3-game win streak. They've won 6 of 8, and they won tonight without Paolo. That's worth something. And certainly, at the very least, like you said, Luis Rosario, thank you for that Super Chat. At the very least, a win deserves the song. So let's go. Let's go. Thank you for that Super Chat. We got a few more Super Chats coming in here tonight on this Friday night. Buffalo Sean says, play that song. Love from Buffalo, New York. Love to you as well, Buffalo Sean. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the show. And thank you for playing the song Up North. That's awesome. Lee Sanders says, not going to lie, it wasn't the team tonight. It was me. I pulled out all the superstition stops. It was exhausting. I'm going to bed. Hey, applause in the chat for Lee for stepping up, activating all superstitions, pulling the Magic back. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the Super Chat. Thank you, Lee Sanders. Ty Mr. TV says, this team playing with my emotions again. I know. It's basically like the opposite of Monday, right? Monday, you're playing a team that you're probably better than, and you don't necessarily get out to a good lead, but you still lead by double digits in the fourth quarter. A game you should just hold on to and win. And then you decide to let Portland back into the game. They get into the game, and then you're able to squeak out a win, right? Obviously at the buzzer. Tonight was kind of the opposite. You played from behind all night. It wasn't the other way around. You played from behind. Brooklyn led for most of this game. The second half, it was back and forth, right? But that first half was ugly. And instead, you close the game on a big run instead of giving up a big run to close the game. So, but still weird, but always playing with the emotions. Buffalo Sean with another super chat says, what do we do with Tyus? He's offering very little. That's a great question, Buffalo Sean. I don't know. Here's the thing with Tyus for tonight. We're going to get to the box score in a little bit. Tyus didn't score, again. Common theme there. But I didn't think that Tyus killed you tonight in his 13 minutes. That doesn't mean it's good, right? We should have a better option there, right? Just someone just not hurting you, that's not good enough, right? But I will say he wasn't as bad tonight as he was in previous weeks, honestly. But again, that doesn't make it right. You should have someone coming off the bench who is good, not who is not horrendous. I don't know. It's a good question. Junior Bruce with a super chat says, Jalen's turnovers going to be a problem this year. Go Magic. Yeah, rough turnover night for Jalen. 5 of them, and several of them were really bad. Really, really bad for Jalen. It's just got to settle down. Thank you for that super chat. We got one from Year 95 Shredder who says, it's ugly, and I will take it. Da Silva is ballin', and we need Mo badly. Tristan Da Silva is so good. He goes 5 of 9 from 3 tonight. Added 9 boards. Played 32 and a half minutes. Man, this is a second-year NBA player, guys. I know he's an older second-year NBA player because he spent all 4 seasons at Colorado. But he is still a second-year NBA player, and he's really good. And he's not just a spot-up shooter. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. He's got a lot more to his game on both ends. I think he's a good defender as well. The Silva's really good. And then you said we need Mo badly. Gosh, that bench unit. I mean, tonight, 6, 12, 14, 18 points from your bench. The entire bench was a negative plus minus. And all the starters were positive plus minus. Right? Which is the absolute opposite. And that's not true. That's an exaggeration. That was not something we were used to 2 seasons ago when we had the bench unit fully healthy for almost the entire season. It was one of the best bench units in the NBA. This season, not good. Getting Mo back, though, like you said, would be huge. Would be absolutely huge. Jalen Lawson with a super chat says, thank you, Boogie. Hopefully 5 isn't out too long. Fortunately, it sounds like he's not going to be out too long. Very grateful for that. But yes, shout out Franz Wagner for bailing us out at the end. Now, if you ask me, Franz Wagner, among other guys, I expect Franz Wagner to step up in the absence of Paolo Banchero. And I was relatively disappointed with him and with Desmond Bane and with Jalen Suggs for allowing the game to get out of hand. Right? That's not to say I'm not grateful for the end. I am, of course. But I think Franz and Desmond and Bane, or Desmond and Bane, how about that? That's great. Desmond and Jalen should have contributed more earlier to keep us from being down double digits for most of the game to the Brooklyn Nets. So it's a love-hate relationship I'm feeling tonight with all the guys. But that's an exaggeration. I love all the guys, of course. But the feelings are a little mixed tonight, as you can expect. And I think I'm not alone in that. So thanks for those super chats. Keep them coming. Again, that's the best way to get involved in the show. In the meantime, let's go see if we can grab some messages here from the rest of the chat. See what we got here. A couple people talking about Franz going out with the injury. We didn't even mention that yet. Hold on, we just got another super chat. This one is from Sean. Are you regular Sean? This is regular Sean, not from Buffalo, I guess. Says, got a squad, but worried we play under the rim. Could be a problem in the playoffs. Need someone who can finish above it consistently. Consistently, but a win is a win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, having guys that are able to finish above the rim is nice, but I don't hate some of the things that the Magic are doing at the rim right now. I do think sometimes they do miss that element, and yeah, playoff time, it could be an issue. You're right, it could. All right, back to the chat we go here. Uni says, we aren't playing the D from the last game. I think that's 100% correct. Sorry. I think it's 100% correct. I mean, think about what the Magic did to New York on Wednesday. New York, an elite offensive team, maybe the best offensive team in the league right now. Well, yeah, one of them, at least top three. You absolutely shut them down. And tonight you're playing Brooklyn, who not a good team. I know, they're all the buzzwords. They're young, they're scrappy, they like to fight and all that kind of stuff. They're not good, though. They're not good. And I know they've had a lot more time off. They haven't played since Tuesday. They had some extra practices. They talked about that on the broadcast. But yeah, if you play New York Wednesday level defense tonight, it's a totally different ballgame. And it just didn't start out that way. But I think the biggest contributor to that was the turnovers. The turnovers in the first quarter were egregious, horrible. Not just because they were bad turnovers, but they set the tone for the game on both sides. They set the tone for the Magic to not get in a rhythm, and it set the tone for Brooklyn to where they were not just in a rhythm, but they were confident. They were getting easy looks. To me, the turnovers are the story of the game. They're the story of the game for me. Even more so than the defense, honestly. Yep. Lots of people saying ugly win, but a win is a win. That's what Jonathan says. That's what LGF says. Lucizari says, no way we can win in Houston with that kind of performance. Yeah, Magic go to Houston next, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Good luck if you're going to play like that against a very, very good Houston team. Good luck. Lots of people saying, play the song. Love that. Christian Manuel says, sometimes it feels like we only play as good as our opponent. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've definitely felt like that over the last several years. Tonight, I think there's a level of that, yeah. I wonder, and maybe this plays right into what you're saying. Maybe the turnovers in the first quarter were the Magic thinking they could just waltz their way into this game, and they tried a couple like risky passes and just a little maybe too comfortable with dribbling the basketball, and I don't know. Those turnovers in the first quarter were they just set you up poorly. Really, really bad. Shout out Christian, by the way, who is a channel member. If you'd like to become a member of the YouTube channel here, you can click that join button for $5 a month. You become a member just like Christian here. You get a cool star next to your name when you leave chats and comments and those kinds of things. And you also get access to a couple fun emojis, like custom YouTube channel member emojis. Again, $5 a month, unless you're doing it from your phone, your iPhone. Then it's $7 a month thanks to the Apple tax. But just join on your computer. I'll save you $2 a month. But yeah, big shout out to Christian and all of our channel members for supporting the show. If you'd like to support us, that's a great way to do it and get a couple little perks along the way. Rafa says, can we talk about TDS? Again, Tristan was so good. Tristan, I've been so happy with Tristan this season. The most consistent player on the team, I think. He's had, 2 bad games out of 14 or 13. Sorry. Pretty good. Pretty good. Lots of people saying Tristan's a star. Absolutely. Duval says that was an ugly win, but you take them how you can get them. That's how I'm feeling. Pretty much, I was very unhappy with this game. Franz banks in the 3, and I'm like, honestly, I was even more unhappy. I was like, oh my gosh, really? But when Franz came back and hit the second 3, that's when I was finally like, all right, this was not fun for the first 47 minutes. But I'm feeling good now. Magic are going to get a win. They're 2-0 in the Cup. They've won 3 in a row and 6 out of 8. They're above 500. I'm feeling okay. And that's where I am right now. Wasn't great, but you found a way to win. I think we just had we had 3 super chats come through. I've been so busy running my mouth. Got this one from Jonathan Osborne. The 6-Man Show says, relief of not losing instead of the joy of winning. It is definitely mixed emotions. Mixed emotions for me. Philip says Tristan should be called Da Silva Lining. Hey, another nice nickname for Tristan da Silva. Tristan's gathered a lot of them. This da Silva, I can't talk. Da Silva Surfer, Bronze Wagner, da Silva Lining. Lots of great things. Lots of great options there for Tristan. Thanks for that super chat, Philip. And then Dumps Whoa says, just wanted to support Go Magic. Thank you so much for that. Very generous super chat there from Dumps. Thank you for the support. Not just for us, but thank you for supporting the Orlando Magic, the team we love. I really, really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Thank you so much. All right, let's hit a couple more messages from the chat here, and then we're going to go to the box score. Then we're going to check the scores around the league, especially the NBA Cup scores, because don't forget, the other teams, or not all of them, 2 of the teams in the Magic's group are going head-to-head in a very, very big game that has very, very big implications for this group. That is Pistons, Sixers. They're going head-to-head. They got a later start than the Magic tonight, so that game might still not even be final. Let me check it. Let's see. It is, 34 seconds left. You know what? I'm going to go to the scoreboard right now just so we can see it, since I teased it. I'm not going to tease you too bad. Oh, gosh, what have I done? Okay, Pistons are going to win that game. How about that? Pistons at home. They're going to beat the Sixers. So they are going to go to, have they played 2 or 3 cup games? Let's take a look over here. I'm jumping the gun. I was going to do all this later. Okay, so this is their second cup game. They won the first by 18, and this one they're going to win by somewhere around 8, 9, 10, 11 points, something like that, depending on how these last 34 seconds go. So they're going to have a 25 to 30 point differential, while the Magic are going to have a 20 point differential. They won game 1 by 13, game 2 by 7. So keep that in mind, because obviously the last week of the NBA Cup, the Magic play at Philly and then at Detroit. Huge games to keep an eye on there in a couple weeks. All right, back to the chat we go. I just jumped the gun really bad on that, but when I saw the score, I had to share. Duval says the 13-0 run was a big factor. Yeah, I would say so. It was pretty important. The Magic had 2 13-0 runs in this game, by the way. Very interesting. Pretty sad, but very interesting. All right, let's see what else we get. This is the stat of the night for me. 3-0 in our statement jerseys. You can't argue with stats, and the stats say the Magic are still undefeated in these jerseys because they are sweet. They are beauty. They are art. Love them so much, and I love the fact that the Magic have not lost in them yet. We got a super chat here from NSU Saint who says, I am Matt Browning. If you know, you know. If you have been around this show for a long time, you know. The OGs know. Adam says, Kevin takes off his shirt if we get to a 5-game win streak. I can promise you that is not the case. That no longer happens on the show. Ever since Luke departed, RIP. That's not a thing. Not a thing around here anymore, and you should be grateful. I've got a lot of UK flags in the chat tonight. I don't know if someone is joining us from the UK, but if you are, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the Magic. Super late at night over there. Pretty cool. This is a very valid point. E. Nest says, one downside is AB played terrible today. Very inconsistent. I think it's a great point. You know, AB had a world of a game on Wednesday at MSG. Super, super happy with him. He was elite. And then turns around and has this game. And that is the chief complaint, I guess if you could say, with Anthony Black. It's just the consistency. It's something we've seen now. This is his 3rd season. That's crazy. This is season 3 of AB. That's wild. But that's something we've seen. All 3 seasons, very inconsistent. And it's tough, especially a game like this. Like, you'd like to think that Anthony Black could have made a little more of an impact on this game given the opponent, but did not happen tonight. That's the next step of Anthony Black's game, is finding a way to contribute every single night. Every single night. All right, let's see what else we got here from the chat. We got a few more from some of our channel members. Mikey Mike says, good to get a glimpse of great player Franz in the 4th. We need more of that version of him. Yeah, he had some big buckets down the stretch. Another channel member, Tyler Morrison, says, winning a game with 19 turnovers is crazy. Got to give Mose credit for finding a way to win when the players are being that sloppy at protecting the ball. Yeah, 19 turnovers. And let's see, what did Brooklyn end up with points off turnovers? 21 points off turnovers. The Magic had 6 points off turnovers. You get outscored by 15 in the points off turnovers mark, and you win the game by 7. That is statistically highly unlikely. I don't know the numbers on it, but wow. That is just very unlikely. A couple more from our channel members. Tristan da Silva is not an NBA player, says Lee Sanders. I was warned of that before the draft by experts. Yeah. Yeah, some people like to talk a lot. So, yeah, I mean, I remember some of the things, and some of the stuff is somewhat true, right? When they said some people said his floor might be one of the highest in the league, like he's going to contribute day one because he's a little bit older and year 4 of, or had 4 years at Colorado. But yeah, those that said he wasn't going to be an NBA player, yeah, how's that looking? Christian Manuel says, would you rather Corey Joseph or Tyus? Question from another channel member. Would I rather Corey Joseph or Tyus? Corey Joseph. Yeah, Corey Joseph. So far. Not really a tough one for me, if I'm being honest. Not really a tough one. All right, hey, let's take a break from the chat. Let's go see the box score and all that good stuff. What we got tonight. Box score, here we go. Tristan, we talked a lot about him, but 22-9 with an assist and a block and 3 turnovers. 8 of 14 from the field, 5 of 9 from 3, 55%. He is just on fire. Love that from Tristan. Franz, 25, 6, and 5, which is good. 3 of 9 from 3 is fine. It's, not great, but it's fine. 8 of 10 from the line. Like to see him not miss 2 big free throws at the end. But 7 of 17 from the field. Excuse me, don't love that. I wish that was better. He had a couple shots that went in and out. But at the end of the day, what I see from Franz, obviously stepped up when it mattered. Stat line looks pretty good. I just felt like there were moments that I wanted him to take over the game. Earlier, not the fourth quarter, I mean earlier in the game, especially in the first half when Brooklyn was all over you. I just wanted Franz to take the game by the horns, and it just didn't really happen. Wendell, 7 points for him, 5 boards, 3 assists. Pretty quiet night, all things considered, for Wendell, I thought. Not necessarily a bad night, just quiet. Desmond Bane, 19 points, 7 of 18 from the field, 5 boards, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. Him probably even more so than Franz. I wanted to see him try to get a hold of this game, especially when Franz went out with injury. I was really Desmond wasn't in the game for a large portion of that, at least at the beginning, that absence of Franz. But when he was out there, I really wanted to see Desmond kind of take over, and he tried to get to the rim a couple times. He got blocked. I don't know if that got in his head or whatever, but he ends up with a game high plus 16, or I should say magic high plus 16. Jalen Suggs with 14 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. Wow, not too far from a triple-double, but we already talked about it. The 5 turnovers, not great. Not great from Jalen. Gogo was all right, 6 and 8 for him with 2 blocks in just 16 minutes. We talked about Tyus already. I thought Tyus didn't kill you tonight. I thought Tyus was not bad. And again, it's sad that that's the baseline. Like that's what we're going for, but it's true. I didn't think Tyus was abysmal tonight. Jet Howard. Oh, there's the here we go. Jet Howard knocked down a couple threes in just 9 minutes. Shout out to Jet. AB, we talked about him, just not quite good enough. 2 points, 2 assists, 16 and a half minutes. Did not look great. J.I. tonight, 14 minutes for him, 4 points, 5 boards, and a block. And then Jamal Cain got a nice 27 seconds in this one. Noah Penda and Jace Richardson, once again, a DNP for Jace Richardson. Hard to believe. Magic ended up shooting 38.5% from 3, thanks to Franz down the stretch there. Well, Tristan as well. Don't forget, Tristan hit the big 3 before Franz hit the next 2. So shout out Tristan. 18 of 21 from the free throw line. It's crazy that Franz missed those 2 free throws. The two most important free throws of the game. He misses them both. But that was just 2 of the 3 missed free throws on the night for the Magic. Some team stats over here. Let's see. The Magic win the second the third, and the fourth quarter. So, hey, I'll give them some credit. That second quarter is better than I thought. You outscored the Nets by 5, and you hold them to the 22 points. So the Magic outscored the Nets in the second, third, and fourth quarter. So I'll give them some credit there. But that first quarter is where you really dug the hole. You're down 9. You had way too many turnovers. 38 points to paint for the Magic. That's not good enough. I know you don't have Paolo, and Paolo is a big contributor to that number. Can be, at least on some nights. But 38 points in the paint, I think, is not quite good enough. I know the Nets have Claxton, but I'd still like to see more of that. 17 fast break points for the Magic. They led by as many as 7, just 18 bench points. We talked about that earlier. It's just not good enough. You got to get Mo back. And then the story of the game for me, 19 turnovers leading to 21 Brooklyn points. It's just never, ever, ever going to be good enough. Well, I say that, and the Magic won tonight. So what do I know? Speaking of what do I know, what is this scoreboard look? There we go. What was going on with that? That was weird. All right, scores around the league tonight. Magic beat the Nets. Cool. Rockets all over the Portland Trailblazers tonight. Again, we'll see the Rockets in Houston on Sunday. Bucks Hornets is a one-possession game with 10 minutes to go. Interesting. Timberwolves Kings is a one-possession game with 9 minutes to go. Interesting. Lakers up 10 on the Pelicans. Clippers up 7 on the Mavs at halftime. Warriors and Spurs are in the first quarter. And then the games that have gone final, the Knicks beat the Miami Heat by 8. The Knicks, of course, do not have Jalen Brunson tonight, but they beat him by 8, 140 to 132. The Miami Heat gave up 140 points to the Knicks. The Magic held the Knicks to 107 points on Wednesday. Don't forget that. And then this is the game we were talking about earlier. It does end up being a 9-point win for the Pistons, who will go top of the group with that one. Let's look at the season standings first. Before we look at the NBA Cup standings, the Magic are now tied as far as games back. They're tied with Chicago Bulls for the 8th seed. Isn't that wild how Chicago has just absolutely collapsed? Pretty crazy. What's beautiful is the Magic are now just 1 game back of the 3 seed. After all the turmoil, after all the ups and downs, after all the things, the Magic are just 1 game back of the Cleveland Cavaliers, 1.5 games back of the New York Knicks, who are the 2 seed, and 4 games back of the Detroit Pistons, whom you have an opportunity to beat, not this week, but next week, in that final NBA Cup game. Well, it's 2 weeks from tonight, actually. Final NBA Cup game. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that's right. 2 weeks from tonight, I think. Or is it? Yeah, no, 2 weeks from tonight. I'm getting all kinds of confused over here. On the 28th, yeah, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, you play in Detroit, the final NBA Cup group stage game. It's your opportunity to get a game on the Pistons, but we'll see. As far as the NBA Cup, NBA.com is often very slow to update this, and they've got the Magic score updated, which is great. They do not have the Pistons, so don't fall in love too much with this. The Pistons are going to be top of the group here. Whenever NBA.com actually updates this. But if you go to the wild card, they're probably 2-0. Yeah, look at that. They're plus 27 through 2 games, and the Magic are plus 20 through 2 games. So, but we'll see. We'll see with these last 2 games here at Philly, at Detroit. Very, very difficult games there. We'll see how that goes. Okay, I think that's it for all the stuff we need to look at over here. Let's go back to the chat. I think I saw we got a couple super chats. Yes, we did. Blake Bickerstaff with the super chat there. Thank you so much, Blake, for supporting the show. Been supporting the show for a very, very long time. Appreciate your support as always. And then Buffalo Sean with the super chat says, do we trade Tyus when Mo is back? It's a good question, Buffalo Sean. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if that happens. A couple reasons. Number one, the Magic are really, really strapped as far as how they can, what they have available financially. As far as what they could do, they're really, really tied down. Number two, Tyus is just a 1-year deal, and it's a cheap deal, and I don't think the Magic are going to be too worried about letting him walk in the summer. So I would be really surprised if that happened. Not impossible, not impossible. You never know, but I would be surprised about that. Thank you so much for that super chat, Buffalo Sean. Appreciate it. All right, last couple of thoughts from the chat, and then we're going to call it a night. We just crossed 30 minutes. So let's see what else we got here. G Money says, did anyone notice Jalen limping at the end? Hope he's okay. I did not, but Jalen is known to limp all the time. So, not saying it's not a problem, but there's a chance it could just be Jalen being Jalen. So, we'll see. Let's see what else we got here. Don says, we said the exact same thing after the Portland game and before the New York game. Really believe we played down to our competition tonight and believe we will be better Sunday at Houston. I hope so, and I think so. I think Desmond Bane will play better on Sunday against Houston. Houston's got an interesting set of personnel. It's a little bit, I don't want to say unorthodox in the league these days, but kind of. But we'll have to see how the Magic can handle that. So that'll be interesting. El Magico says, says, phew, the cardiac magic. The crowd was lit. Did it translate on TV? Yeah, down the stretch, it definitely did. First half, the crowd was not lit, and they shouldn't have been lit. There's real problems in that game. But yeah, in the fourth quarter especially, oh yeah, Magic made the comeback. The Tristan 3, the Franz banked 3, and then the Franz big 3. That's when it really went crazy. His second 3 there, yeah, absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Diggy says, Mask Wagner saves the day. Go Magic. Absolutely. Duval says they got to be more disciplined. Yeah, the turnovers, man, in that first quarter were just rough. Michael Kiefer says, how does Georgia of the Jungle sound for Goga? I like it. That's pretty good. Pretty good. If you know, you know, by the way. If you don't know Georgia of the Jungle, you're missing out. Let's see. We just got a super chat here from NSU. Saint says, hope Rocket makes an appearance Sunday on the postgame live. Can tell you that won't happen because Sam is not doing the postgame live on Sunday. And none of the other hosts of the postgame live own chinchillas. Maybe that's the secret sauce. Maybe we should all get chinchillas. And then all of us can celebrate with our chinchillas if the Magic win. I'm going to take that idea and consider it. I'll ponder that one. It's pretty good. Let's see. Blake says, can we get a live check-in from Rocket? Okay, now you might be onto something there. If the Magic win, I bring on Rocket as a guest. Even if Sam isn't hosting, I could bring Rocket on as a guest. I think that's a good idea. Good idea. I like it. All right, last couple thoughts here. We got some German being said. I'm just trusting that this is a family-friendly saying that's on the screen right now, but Spiel jetzt bitte den Song. I'm assuming that's play the song, but you're going to have to tell me how badly I butchered the German, especially that second word. Jetst? Is that right? Jetst? I've never seen that word before. I have to look up that translation. I got a lot of German to learn in the next 2 months before I go over to Berlin. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. All right. Leslie says a good win tonight. A win is a win. That's where I'm feeling now. I'm feeling the exact same way. Vibrant Star says they were just playing with their food and not taking them seriously. That's all very possible. Last couple of thoughts here. Brian says Tristan is the real MVP tonight. Getting the start and not being afraid to shine. Getting that 3 to start the end of the Nets was the momentum we needed. Absolutely. And again, I love that he's not just settled with being a spot-up shooter. He gets to the rim and plays well on defense, all that kind of stuff. Love it. Love it. Nathan McKendry says, win every game by 1 point and you got a championship. I think that's the perfect way to end the show. Just an absolute beautiful insight from Nathan. Very, very true. Win every game by 1 point and you're going to win a championship. I love it. That's the kind of humor I love to hear. That's the kind of way I want to end a show. Really, really appreciate that. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. There's a lot of things you can do on a Friday night. And the fact that over 200 of you Magic Maniacs decided to hang out with us means the world. Whether you're watching this live or watching it later, please hit the like button. Hope you've enjoyed this. Magic back in action Sunday night, 7 p.m. against the Houston Rockets. You know we'll be here when it's done. But until then, enjoy your weekend and let's go Magic.